Welcome to Truneek Informatics. My name is Mopreet Kaur and I'm going to teach you English today. And the topic of today is direct indirect speech. Now, as simple this sounds is exactly how simple it is. Direct indirect speech. Let's see what this is. Now, what is reported speech? Now, direct indirect speech is also known as reported speech. So, reported speech is when we talk about what somebody else said. So when we are referring to something that someone else said and we are talking about that particular sentence or those words, we call it reported speech. Direct indirect speech is the type of reported speech. So when we are putting something directly in the exact same words of the person, we use direct speech, we call it direct speech. And when we mold the sentence, we transform it a bit, we change a few words, then it is indirect speech. Now the difference between direct and indirect speech majorly is the use of inverted commas. So the first sentence is direct speech. She said, I love math. So she said, I love math. I is not me, is she. She said. But when we change it into indirect speech, a few words are changed, the inverted commas are removed, and a connector is added. She said that she loved math. So I became she, love became loved, inverted commas removed, that is added. Okay, we'll talk about all these changes in depth in the upcoming slides. So before we study about direct indirect speech or reported speech, there are three main things that you need to keep in mind. Three key components. Now what these are: subject and object, point of view, tenses. Subject object is basically who is saying to whom. So the person who is doing the action is subject, the thing or the person receiving the action is object. Point of view, there are three different type of point of views: first person, second person, and third person. Okay, so that is a very important point when we are talking about indirect direct speech. And tenses, like in the previous slide, love changed to loved, so the present tense changed to past tense, so we need to study tenses. Subject and object. So it's a little example. So the fruit fell on the lion. What fell? Subject is the fruit, fell is verb, and the lion is object. So fruit fell on the lion. Fruit is the action that has been done. Lion is the receiver. So subject, object. Now pronouns, when we use pronouns, I asked her. I am the one who is saying. Her is the one who is receiving. So I is subject, her is object. Next we have point of view. Like I said, first, second, third person. So let's see what the rule is here. Okay. So point of view is first person uses pronouns I, my, we, our, me, and us. So basically when a narrator speaks about himself or herself, they use, it is known as first person. I, me, my, we, our, us. So all these words are used as a first person point of view. For example, I was sad, I felt nervous. So when I am talking about myself, that is the first person. Second person, when I am talking about the other person. So we use you and your. You were sad, you felt nervous. Okay. Third person is when I am talking about a person who is not present in the room. I was not part of the story, but I saw it. We use he, she, it, they, his, her, their. For example, he looked sad, he seemed nervous. I'm not sure of it, but he looked sad and he seemed nervous. Okay. These are a very important part of your direct indirect speech. So let's see how tenses are changed. So when we're talking about the present simple tense and we are changing the direct speech into indirect speech, it becomes past simple. Like we did in the first example, she said she loves math. She said that she loved math. It was present simple. past simple. She always wears a coat. He said that she always wore a coat. Present continuous to past continuous. Similarly, present perfect to past perfect. Let's see the examples. I'm looking for my keys. She said that she was looking for her keys. She has written 3 letters for her friend. He said that she had written 3 letters for her friend. Has changed to had. Past simple converts into past perfect. My friend gave me a bar of chocolate. Gave me a bar of chocolate. He said his friend had given him a bar of chocolate. So gave is transformed into had given. Now in future tense we change will to would. I will finish my report in 2 days. He said that he would finish his report in 2 days. Can to could. I can speak English. She said that she could speak English. May to might. I may invite them to dinner. She said that she might invite them to dinner. Must to had to. I must go to the bank and get some money. She said that she had to go to the bank and get some money. Have to had to again. I have to submit this assignment by 3 p.m. tomorrow. She said that she had to submit this assignment by 3 p.m. tomorrow. So this is very important. Again, I'll repeat. Present simple to past simple, present continuous to past continuous, present perfect to past perfect, past simple to past perfect, will, would, can, could, may, might, must, had to, have to, had to. Okay, let's move forward. So when we're talking about direct speech and indirect speech, these two are very common words that we come across. Reporting clause or reporting verb and reported speech. Let's see what these. For example, Rita said to Geeta, I love singing. Okay. So the words which generally come before the inverted commas are called the reporting clause or reported verb. That is, Rita said to Geeta, and the verb is said. Rita said to Geeta is the reporting clause and said is the reporting verb. Is called the reporting verb or reporting clause. The words spoken by Rita and put within inverted commas are called the reported speech. So this, I love singing, is the reported speech. So you need to be very clear about this. What is your reporting verb and what is your reported speech? So because the reported verb changes to something else in the indirect speech, and your reported speech is again converted into another kind of sentence. Certain rules for converting direct speech into indirect speech, and we will start with the first one, that is rules for the change of pronouns. Pronouns like I, me, myself converted into she, he, it. Okay, let's see the examples, what the rule is exactly. Now, the first person pronouns I, me, my, we, us are in the reported speech change according to the subject of the reporting speech. So subject signifies how we'll change the pronoun of the first person. The pronouns of the second person are changed according to the object, and the third person is not changed. So the first person according to subject, second person according to object, and the third person remains the same. For example, she said, I like the hotel. She said that she liked the hotel. So I is changed into she. She said to me, do you like the hotel? She asked me if I liked the hotel. Asked is added instead of said because it was a question. Do is dropped. If is added. You changed to I. So you was the second person pronoun. I is the first person pronoun. She said she likes the hotel. This is third person. Already it will not change. She said that she liked the hotel. Alright. Changes in words expressing nearness, time, etc. So when we have words that talk about the nearness of a thing or time, then how we change these words. Okay, so direct speech, indirect speech. Now is converted into then, today, to that day, here, to there. Examples: the children are playing outside now. He said that the children were playing outside then. Are changed to were, present to past, now changed to then. Today, that day. I've got a piano lesson today. She said that she had got a piano lesson that day. Here, there. Put the box here. He told us to put the box there. This convert into that. I shall be very busy this week. She said she would be very busy that week. Shall convert into would. This to that. Tomorrow. Tomorrow we can be converted into the following day, the next day, the day after, anything out of these. I will leave for New York tomorrow. She said that she would leave for New York the next day. Next week, again the same way, following week, the next week, week after. Yesterday, the previous day, the day before. Our English teacher quizzed us yesterday. They said that their English teacher had quizzed them the day before. Last week, again the same way, the previous week, the week before. Ago, previously, before. The letter came a few days ago. He said the letter had come a few days before. Tonight, that night. I'm going for a beer with Carl tonight. He said that he was going for a beer with Carl that night. Okay, so clear? Now to then, today, that day, here, there, this, that, tomorrow, the following day, next week, the following week, next week, yesterday, the previous day, the day before, last week, the previous week, the week before, ago, previously, before, tonight, that night. Okay. Rules for changing statements into indirect speech. Let's see what the rule is. The reporting verb said to is changed to told. When you say he said to me, he told me, replied, remarked. All these words are used when we change a statement into the indirect speech. The reporting verb is not followed by an object. It is not changed. Okay. The inverted commas are removed. That is the main focus of our whole topic. The conjunction that is used to connect the reporting clause with the reported speech, we are a conjunction. The rules for the change of pronoun, tenses, etc. for like we use the rule of pronoun changing of the changing in the time are used. For example, they have said, he said, I saw an elephant in the forest. He said that, inverted commas removed. He had, I changed to he. Saw, had seen, past into past perfect. An elephant in the forest. The rest remains the same. Sam said to me, I am very happy here. Sam said to me, Sam told me. That, again inverted commas removed. He was very happy there. Here changed to there. He said, I can do this work. He said that he could do that work. This changed to that. Rosie said to me, I was washing the clothes. Rosie told me that she had been washing the clothes. Was washing, past continuous, changed to present perfect continuous. She had been washing the clothes. Okay. For changing interrogative sentences, interrogative questions. Let's see what the rule is. The verb, reporting verb, say is changed into ask or inquire. The interrogative sentence is changed into a statement. Question mark is removed. If the interrogative sentence, which has WH word, who, when, where, how, why, etc., the WH word is repeated in the sentence. It serves as a conjunction. That is exactly what we use that for. But here the same word is repeated. Okay. Next we have, if the interrogative sentence is a yes no answer type with auxiliary verbs am, are, was, were, do, did, have, shall, etc., then if or whether is added as a conjunction. For example, if I say, will you go out today? It's a yes no question. It will be if I would go out today. if or whether. The auxiliaries do, does, did in a positive question in the reported speech are dropped. Like we saw in the previous example, do is removed, does is removed, if is added. Let's look at the examples. Direct speeches: I said to him, where are you going? I asked him, said, say, change to asked him where he was going. He, you, convert to he, was going, are to was, where remains same, going remains same. He said to me, will you go there? It's a yes no question, so will not repeat, it will be if. He asked me if I would go there. You change to I. Second person to first person. My friend said to Deepak, have you ever been to Agra? It's again a yes no answer. Yes, I have been to Agra. No, I have not been to Agra. So we have added whether. My friend asked Deepak whether he had ever been to Agra. I said to him, did you enjoy the movie? Did. We dropped did, do, words, and we'll add if. I asked him if he had enjoyed the movie. I said to her, do you know him? It's a yes no question and it is do. So do will be dropped, if will be added. I asked her if she knew him. Clear? Changing commands and requests into direct speech. So what kind of changes do we make to the sentence when there are commands or requests in the sentence? Let's see. So first, sentences having commands, the reporting verb is changed into command, order, tell, allow, request. So when we say he said, we add he ordered. If we say he told me, he commanded me. Okay, and we add to in front of the verb. For example, she said to me, open the door. She ordered me to open the door. So to is added before open, before the verb. And the words like in case of negative sentences, auxiliary word do is dropped and do is placed again. For example, the captain said to the soldiers, attack the enemy. Said, commanded. The captain commanded the soldiers to attack the enemy. The teacher said to the students, said, asked, listen to me attentively. The teacher asked the students to listen to him attentively. Okay, clear? The last kind of rule, exclamations and wishes. There are sentences with exclamation marks. So what do we do in those cases? Sometimes exclamatory sentences contain exclamations like hooray, alas, oh, heavens, bravo. So in these kind of sentences, the exclamatory word is removed, and we say when we use exclaimed with sorrow, if it's a sad exclamation, we say exclaimed with sorrow. If it's a joyful, we say it exclaimed with joy. Or we just say exclaimed. He exclaimed that. Simple. So Monty said, what a pity. Monty exclaimed, said is removed, that it was a great pity. The mother said, may God bless you. It's a praying. My mother prayed to God for my well-being. Alex said, hooray, we won the match. Alex exclaimed with joy. Hooray is joy that they had won the match. We changed to they, won, had won, and that is that. That is all about the rules where you remove, when you remove do and you add if, or you change the pronouns, or you change the timing of the sentence, and removing the inverted commas, adding that or adding if to it. So all these are the rules that you need to keep in mind, even if you don't keep these exactly the rules in mind, but you should at least know how to convert it. So for that practice, I have a practice assignment for you guys. So here are a few sentences in direct speech, and you need to convert them into indirect speech. First one is, she says. Says is your reporting verb. What time will you be home? What starting with WH word. It's an interrogative statement. He said to me, said to is your reporting verb. Do you like pizza? Interrogative sentence with do. There's a fly in my soup! Exclamation mark. It's an exclamation sentence. Screamed Simon. John said there's a lion outside the window. Said is your reporting verb. Mahesh said, Sir, may I go home? It's a request. Said is your reporting verb. Let's look at the answers. So the answers are, she says, what time will you be home? She asked, says, asked. At what time? What is repeated? I will be at home. You change to I. He said to me, do you like pizza? He inquired, said, changed to inquired. To me, if, do dropped, if added, I, you changed to I, liked pizza. There's a fly in my soup! Exclamation mark, screamed Simon. Simon exclaimed that there was a fly in his soup. John said, there's a lion outside the window. John said that there was a lion outside the window. Mahesh said, Sir, may I go home? He's asking, it was request. Mahesh respectfully asked his sir if he might go home. May change to might. I change to he. Rest remains the same. So that was all about direct indirect speech. I hope the topic is clear to you guys. Thank you so much.